So, for practices of looking, I'd say the main point in both Couple in a Cage as well as Cannibal Tours is that in situations like these, rather than an experience that is a learning and a connection opportunity, it becomes this kind of viewing and having opportunity. In Cannibal Tours, this is a lot more literal, as the tourists are spending their time buying these handmade crafts to kind of prove the experiences they've had. But in Couple in a Cage as well, they're going and having, like, kind of owning this experience by going to the museum, and they're taking their own pictures and having their pictures taken with these others, with these kind of strange beings who they completely dehumanize because they see them as almost objects from another culture. In this case, the experience itself becomes almost like an object of consumption. You're not going there to communicate and to learn something about people who are like you. You're kind of fulfilling this idea that you already have about people who are different than you and proving to yourself that they are different from you, which some may believe is better, as they talk about, again, in Cannibal Tours, some of the tourists say this is a more simple life, close to nature, and in that way it's better. But it's still fulfilling these ideas that if someone lives in a different way than you, it's almost that they're a different species. Something I did find pretty interesting about Couple in a Cage as opposed to Cannibal Tours was that it seemed like there were a lot of people, or at least a couple people shown in the Couple in a Cage film, who really wanted to speak to this couple and learn more about them, but were told, oh, they don't speak English, oh, we can't communicate with them. So I was impressed by how people did want to reach out and learn more about them, but were kind of shut off for the sake of it being a piece of performance art. There was a man saying, they speak Spanish, I can speak to them. But then one of the kind of museum staff said, no, they can't, they speak their own language, sorry, you can't talk to them. So I did think that was really interesting, because even in this case, when someone was seeking a connection or was seeking to learn a little bit more about these people, as opposed to just viewing them as this set of objects, they kind of weren't allowed. So that was pretty different, opposed to the tourists who were happier just having their own assumptions and didn't really care, or weren't shown to care about speaking to them any more than just bartering with them. Kind of on a similar note to that, when we're shown the man in Cannibal Tours who expresses that he has no idea who these people are or why they're coming to experience this culture or what they even want, I really hope that the filmmaker was able to communicate with them to give him some of that knowledge, because it really was so heartbreaking that he just wanted to know something about these tourists and why they're there, where they're from, what their culture might be like. But he just didn't. Hopefully the fact that he was able to communicate this to the filmmaker means that someone who was there, who was able to speak his language, was able to communicate these things to him. Because otherwise I feel like even the filmmaker is taking advantage of just allowing him to be an aspect in a film and not treating him humanely enough to give him the information that he's also seeking, even though the filmmaker is seeking his own information and seeming to obtain it by the fact that he can film these events.